Hi everyone, welcome to the next lecture. I will show you how to insert images and tables into your R Markdown report. So one way of inserting images is to use the R Markdown syntax, where you insert an exclamation mark directly followed by square brackets. Inside the square brackets, you insert the caption of your image, and then that is directly followed by rounded brackets. There's no space between the exclamation mark, the square brackets, or the rounded brackets. And then inside the rounded brackets, you specify your relative path to the image. And please make sure that you also insert the extension of the image. So the .jpeg, for example, make sure that you insert that. But as you can see, using this inserts the figure um, as it is, that size. So you can see it actually runs off my screen. So that's not the best way to insert it. Another way of inserting images is to rather use a code chunk. So as you know, you start with your 3 backticks, followed by the curly brackets and R, and then you have your code chunk rules. And you'll see in those rules, I specify my out.width as 50%, and I align the figure as center, and I can also add the figure caption as one of my chunk rules. And then you use the include underscore graphics function from the knitter package. And then you specify your relative path to your image, and that will insert the image. Another way of inserting images is to actually generate the figure from code. And you can also modify the dimensions inside your code rules. So in this case, you specify the figure width and the figure height. And you will see that I create two vectors, a character vector called attendees and a numeric vector called age. And then I combine these two vectors to create a data frame. And then I plot the data frame as my X and my Y. There's also several ways to insert tables. So the standard ways to use R Markdown is to use the code chunk. Once again, you have your 3 backticks there, and you type the name of your object. But you will see that the output is not the best. It will use your variable names as is, which for my example, it's in lowercase only, and you have these leading hash symbols and your row numbers. So this is not very neat. So an alternative way of inserting tables is to use the Markdown syntax. In this case, you have your vertical bar symbol. If you have completed the Unix lessons by now, you will know that this symbol is also called a pipe if you use that in Unix. But I'm going to refer to that symbol as the vertical bar. Then you have your table headers, and below that you can see a colon and some hyphens. So the first column, you will see I have the colon followed by the hyphens, and that will align the text left. In the second column, I have colons on both sides, and that will center the text. And in the third column, I have the colon on the right, and that will right align the text. And you can see the corresponding output at the bottom. Another way of inserting tables, which is also my favorite, is to use the cable function from the knitter package. So you specify the name of your object that you want to plot. So in this case, I have a data frame. You specify the alignment of the columns. So if you have 3 columns, you need to specify 3 arguments in the align function. But since I only have 2 columns, I specify that I want the first column to be left aligned with the letter L, and the other column I want to align right. And then I have my caption, and the format is HTML. And then another way of inserting tables, which is also one of the things I use a lot, is the pander function from the pander package. So make sure that you install this package first. Once again, you have your data frame, your caption, and in this case, you have the argument called justify, and you can specify how you want to align your text. Please note that pandocs should be pre-installed if you want to use pander. I have a look. No, these are not hyperlinked, so you would need to install the pandoc program. All right, so this concludes this lecture for inserting images and tables. In the next lecture, we will have a look at advanced features.